pleasant day to each and every one of us. I am John Philip Sampiano Bunao, the leader of Group 3, and here are my members in this group. Mr. Jose Jason Castillo, Mr. Alden de la Cruz, Mr. Reniel Rivera, Ms. Angelica Eulalio, Ms. Melody Garcia, and Ms. Regina Ventura. So here, we will expound and elaborate the Netiquette guidelines. Here is a brief introduction. Netiquette guidelines. Netiquette guidelines are rules for polite online behavior. It serves as an effective tool for maintaining the good image of an individual when it comes to the digital world. Netiquette guidelines helps make the internet a more pleasant and respectful place for everyone. So now, let us move forward and go through the 8 examples of Netiquette guidelines. Number 1, protect your reputation. Given the fact that we are living in a digital world, it is necessary to encrypt our own reputation online. Because by doing so, we can safeguard our virtual information. We can also manage the information that we are spreading. As future educators, it is absolutely important because by our profession, we can protect our own reputation by limiting the posting of information that is inappropriate by our profession and to avoid harm also. As a student, we must know how to safeguard our virtual information and know our limits towards sharing contents online because sometimes online contents have unmannered behavior. So it is a must to be knowledgeable on how to protect our reputation. The second one is respect others. It is always true that respect begins with respect. It is highly significant that if we do respect others, especially on their personal property and life, we do have respect in ourselves as well. Treating other people the good and best way we can is a much opportunity for us to grow and mature towards our moral character, whether they are in a face-to-face or online world. As future educators, we should apply the essence of respect all the time, especially in our profession. We should respect our colleagues, principal, and also our students the best way we can, like for example, by respecting their personal and virtual privacy. As a student, it is a due for us to apply this, especially to our peers, parents, teachers, elders, and etc. Because by respecting them, we can probably do it again and pass it to the next generation to avoid conflict with others.
Now, let's discuss about express yourself clearly and use emoticons. Having a conversation online like messaging or texting can be difficult at some point because the person cannot see your expression and reaction. By learning and understanding this netiquette guideline can improve your communication skills online and to have a smoother conversations. Expressing yourself clearly and using emoticons are important when we are having a conversation online. For them to be aware on what you feel and to understand you without seeing your facial expressions. Also, by doing this, other people will know the right response when they reply at you. For example, I will message my friend sorry, but I will use a happy emoticon. The message will not be sincere, so instead of using a happy emoticon, I will use a sad emoticon for my message, for my friend to understand that I want to say sorry sincerely. As you can see, expressing yourself clearly and using emoticons has a huge impact when communicating. Although, remember, at some cases, this netiquette guideline is not applicable, like when your message is formal.
Dumako naman tayo sa pang-apat na netiquette guidelines, which is remember the intellectual property. Something you encounter on the internet, almost always someone else intellectual property. Kapag nangopya ka ng idea ng ibang tao, you should acknowledge the author and always give credit where it is due by citing sources. Example for this, as a student, I credit with a correct citation. Since I use someone else's ideas in my homework, it's like sharing a toy, and thanking them for allowing me to play. Another example, as a future teacher, I will also educate my student on how to conduct research and properly cite sources. Consider offering them a treasure map to locate excellent ideas. By educating my student about intellectual property, that they become a responsible researcher and creator.
Check spelling, grammar, and punctuation. Since we are communicating and collaborating in digital world, it is absolutely important to preview the posts that we are expanding and spreading, especially the grammar, if it is readable or not, the spelling of the words to make it more comprehensible, and punctuation marks that is connected to the post itself. We need to consider these factors to avoid misunderstanding and misunderstanding about what we post in digital world. As a future educator, it is important to apply this one specifically in our profession. Like for example, when we are trying to encourage our students to participate in competition by writing a post, it is important to proofread it unless we want our post to be wasted and students neglect it. As a student, we must apply it also to our peers, schoolmates, teachers, and etc. Like for example, when we are trying to communicate our teachers about queries, it is important to check the grammar, spelling, and punctuation to make it more readable and comprehensible to avoid confusion and misunderstanding on the part of the teacher.
Hi, I'm Aldrin. I'll be discussing the one of the Netiquette guidelines, which is the post before you post. Ibig sabihin, pag-isipan muna bago mag-post or mag-send. Example, nag-away kayo ng kaibigan mo tapos nag-run ka sa social media without thinking kung anong mangyayari. Ang ending, nalaman ng ibang tao, mas lalong lumala yung away nyo. Another example, the future educators, tayo yung role model sa mga bata, tapos nag-post ka ng opinion mo, kunwari about sa election kung sino ang i-vote mo. Ang ending, nakita ng mga students mo, and gusto nila yun na din ang vote nila kasi yun ang i-vote ng teacher nila. Internet is public space. Once na nag-post ka, mahirap na yung tanggalin. Kahit i-delete mo pa yun, maalala pa rin ng mga nakakita at nakabasa.
After knowing when to post something on the internet, I will now be telling you what not to post. It is your personal information. Well, sharing your personal information online is like going around the streets wearing a shirt printed with your name, birthday, address, parents' name, etc. etc. Giving out all this information can make you prone to identity theft. And as a student and future educators, we must be mindful of what we are sharing online, especially our personal information. We should always be careful on who we are talking to, mostly those who we don't really know personally. The internet is a vast and broad place where anyone can have access to. If we are careful enough on what we are doing, we should be safe. The only thing we can leave you is that never ever share your personal information to a person that you don't really know. That is it for my report about sharing personal information. Thank you.
Everyone, my name is Jose Jason Castillo, and I'll be discussing the 8th part of the Netiquette guidelines using social media, which is all about think about who or what you are representing as a son, daughter, students, teachers, or any professions. It is very important to know who or what we are representing, especially using social media. Like for example, as a son, bilang anak. Pag gumawa or nag-post ba tayo ng kahiya-hiya sa social media, tayo lang ba ang parang nababastos or napapahiya sa social media? Hindi. Pati rin ang ating mga magulang, especially our parents. Also, our friends. Napapahiya din sila kasi damay-damay na yon. Kasi kung ano yung ginawa mo, magre-reflect din sa magulang mo. Next is as a student. As a student, especially for us as a future educator, if we post something malaswa or pangit sa social media, it is not only reflect to us, but also in our schools and our classmates or co-students, it reflects also. Kasi, nabibigyan siya or parang lumalabas doon na, ay, nag-aaral to sa ganito, pangit yung natututunan niya sa ganito. Magiging ganun yung kakalabasan niya. Kaya napaka-importante na malaman natin or alam natin kung ano tayo at kung sino tayo, especially using social media, because we all know that social media is very broad. Malawak ang sakop ng social media. Kung ano yung ginagawa mo dito sa Pilipinas, also napapanood din nila or nakikita din nila sa ibang bansa. Kaya always remember who or what you are representing, especially in posting in social media. And we need also to be maingat sa pagpo-post, especially if we are professionals. That should be all. Thank you. Hi, it's me again, and this time, let's proceed to the conclusion. I know all of us have their own social media accounts and have their own social media apps. But the question is, do we really know how to use it? Well, Netiquette is a set of guidelines that help us to more effectively communicate, protect, and avoid misunderstanding and conflict in the online world. Because our micro mistakes leads to a macro misunderstanding. And I also, Netiquette or online etiquette is very important because it helps us to create a respectful and safe online environment. So, we need to be aware what we are going to post or share online. And please, avoid posting bad content or bad comments in the social or in the online world, because like what I said, respect begets respect, and think before you click. That should be all. Thank you.